In 2009, Paddy Cosgrove launched Web Summit to cover the burgeoning world of technology. Over the next few years, the conference expanded from Dublin, Ireland to Lisbon, Portugal, with sister conferences launching in New Orleans, Hong Kong, Toronto, and other cities. I attended Web Summit in 2018 to discuss how to cut through the clutter online. 70,000 people congregated to Lisbon that year, and subsequently we partnered with Web Summit to showcase some of the highlights from their conferences. Today we present What I Wish a VC Had Told Me by Alexis Ohanian, co-founder of Reddit, as well as Initialized Capital, and also known as Mr. Serena Williams.
What's up, Lisbon? Hello. I heard I'm the last speaker before lunch. No pressure, but I'm very happy to be here. The last time I was here in Portugal was 2 years ago. A lot's changed in the last couple of years. I'm pretty hopeful, though, to share a few lessons from a decade or so of entrepreneurship that I wish I had been told when I was starting Reddit. Yeah, one of you's a Redditor. How many of y'all use Reddit, just by a show of hands? Oh, God bless you. Thank you. Upvote, 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 upvote. Thank you also for outing yourselves as the least productive people here. Very brave. But I take it y'all are startup founders too. Hopefully this will prove valuable. We need more innovation now more than ever. And one of the reasons I was so excited to go back to doing early stage investing with my co-founder Gary Tan at Initialized was because I believe great change and great improvements can happen from early days. A couple of folks at Y Combinator took a chance on me and my co-founder back in 2005, handed us $12,000 and said, good luck, and it became Reddit. We've been really fortunate with Initialized to make similar bets in early stage founders before anyone else believes in them and had some success. But we're just getting started. And when we thought about what we wanted to build, we thought, all right, well, we need a team of people who are all the things that a founder is going to need, and then turn them into cyborgs using software. And so these are the sort of highlights and the very best lessons that I find myself repeating over and over and over and over again when I'm mentoring founders, either in the portfolio or just randomly at a conference in Lisbon. Number one, look for peers, not mentors. There are probably lots of people who are coming on and off this stage where you're like, oh, I would love to have 15 minutes with her. She should be an amazing mentor for me. Here's the rub. Wherever they're at, the reason they're on this stage is because they are a ways away from where you are today. And you actually probably know, undoubtedly know more about your industry than they do. You know more about your struggles and the current ways to fix them than they do. And they are so far removed from actually solving those real problems that you should be looking for peers who are at your level or just above and where you want to go. Work with them, because they've solved the problems you've had to solve recently, not 10 years ago. The advice that I would give you about starting a startup, specifically based on my experience from 13 years ago starting Reddit, not that valuable. But the very specific tactical advice you could get from someone who is a peer of yours in the industry, who you respect, who you're learning from, is actually actionable. You're the average of your 5 closest friends. If you came to this conference with some friends of yours who don't impress you, who don't motivate you, you should probably spend less time with them. I know it's going to make for some awkward lunch conversations, but the people you spend most of your time with will have an influence on who you are. And there should be qualities about them that you admire. There should be qualities about them that you aspire to, because your time is valuable. Don't waste it with people who do not give you something to make you better, who do not inspire you to be better. Seek authenticity, not authority. This is one of the things I see so many founders struggling with because they feel this pressure, probably because of unrealistic expectations set in school, to always be right. You're a founder, you're starting out, so by definition, you're going to be wrong most of the time. But that's okay. Be authentic. One of the best lessons we learned from the early days of Reddit was having a front page, literally the week after we launched, where the top story was, why is the site down? You are idiots. We didn't ban it. We got in the comments, we explained what had happened, the reason the server had gone down, and we took responsibility for it. People seek this transparency, they seek this authenticity, and as an early stage startup, that is all you have. That is your brand. No one cares about you. No one knows about you. You don't have a budget to plaster advertisements. You can be real. You can be authentic, and thanks to social media now, that currency has far, far more weight. Another is to operate for the short term, but plan for the long term. So many founders are looking way far ahead at what their future is going to be that they're not focusing on the things that they need to solve for in the short term, for right now, for next week, for next month. And believe me, I know the to-do list is long. There are so many things that you want to be doing, that you can be doing. There's another event to go to, there's a meetup, there's a client to talk to, there's an engineer you have to close. There's so much happening that you need to become ruthless at prioritizing your schedule. I see so many founders who don't appreciate and properly value their time. And that is to say, look, there are infinite things you could be doing, and one of the best is spending every Monday or Sunday night going through and planning the things you want to accomplish. I still do this every single week. And priority list from P0 all the way down, all the things that you need to do and accomplish by the end of that week, and be thinking about that on a weekly basis and be checking in with that regularly, because there are always going to be distractions, and it's on you to triage. And this is the one that I still have to remind myself of all the time, because the more successful you are, the more things you will have nipping for your attention. Focus and not breadth. All right? Focus on the very specific things that make your business different, on the very specific things that make your product special. Obsess over those things. Obsess over them. Focus on them relentlessly and cast all the other distractions to the side. Understand what that singular reason is. So many founders who are able to find product market fit start getting distracted because they found that focus. They found the thing that users want, that customers want, that people are coming back for, that people are paying for, and it's a good feeling. When you've been struggling for so long trying to find that fit, it's such a good feeling to have made something people want. But the temptation starts to come in, oh, well, there's other verticals we could go into, there's other opportunities and product that we could do. And the more that you can focus relentlessly on that specific thing that works and works well, the better. So many side projects that were launched and shuttered in those early days at Reddit that I wish I could take back, because that was time, brain power, engineering resources, energy, all misspent on things that were side projects and not the actual core focus. Oh, this one is personal. Health, not hustle. I don't know how much of a problem y'all have with hustle porn here in Europe. Is that a thing in the European startup community? Hustle porn? Or is this a uniquely American phenomenon? If it has been imported here and thus exported from America, I apologize on behalf of my country. Hustle porn is one of the most toxic, dangerous things in the tech industry right now. And I know so much of it comes from the States. It is this idea that unless you are suffering, unless you are grinding, unless you are working every hour of every day and posting about it on Instagram, you're not working hard enough. It is such bullshit, such utter bullshit. And the worst part about it is it has deleterious effects not just on your business, but on your personal well-being. And at the early days of a company, that really is the great differentiator, right, is your own health and well-being. And so I know Europe's always had a much more enlightened viewpoint on work and life and the balance therein, but please do not let hustle porn win here, and do not let it infect your brain. There were so many times that I wished I had someone to talk to, and whether that's going to be your rabbi or your priest, or whether that's going to be your therapist or your executive coach, bring people into your life who care solely and singularly for your health and well-being, and talk to them. I had personal things going on during the founding of Reddit, my mother getting terminally ill. I had issues with my co-founder, things that went unresolved for years, that took its toll on me personally, and there are countless founders, probably plenty in the audience right now, who wish there was someone you could open up to and confide in. So what I say is please, please, please do. Please, please, please get people in your life who are there with that singular focus to help you. It will make you a better founder, and it just might save your life. And it's not just mental health too, it's also physical. It's this crazy obsession with this idea that we should just be sedentary for as many hours as possible in front of a computer. The reality is garbage in, garbage out. The food you're putting into your body is the amount of time you're spending actually in fresh air, actually getting exercise, has a material impact. And it took me 34 years to give a damn. It took me until I found out I was gonna be a dad that I decided to make a promise to my then unborn child that I was gonna live my next 34 years as fantastically as I could health-wise so I could be around for her. Why did it take me so damn long? So if you want the cheat code, start investing in yourself mentally and physically right now. The time that you spend even taking that walk is going to clear your head to solve that problem about that investor that you're trying to appease or that client you're trying to close. It will help you in your business life. Do not succumb to hustle porn. It's bullshit. And values, not friendship. This is a fun one because a lot of great founding teams come together because they were friends first. They were friends in college, they were friends in high school, they were friends at work. The key thing to make a co-founder pairing work for the long term is to understand that you don't just have a friendship in common, they don't just like the same video games, but that you share values. If you don't, that will fray. And it's important to take inventory of that now. And it's not just the list of 10 values you got on your company wall that you try to get everyone to recite at the offsites. It's the values you have as people, the things that you prioritize. The fact that if push comes to shove, and it will, if times get tough at a company, and they will, you will know what this person will fall back on as their universal truths, as their values. And it's not about the friendship. It's not about, oh, we used to go party together. Oh, we used to play video games together. It is we share an alignment in how we see the world. And this matters. And these aren't conversations we see founders having early enough with one another, and we encourage them to at Initialized. We encourage them to have these discussions, these hard, honest, but so important discussions. Because this is what is going to matter, especially when things are going bad. And finally, cyborgs, not robots. I mentioned this earlier. You know, we're building software at Initialized to scale the unscalable. We've got partners for everything a founder might need, but we wanted their expertise to scale, so we built software, because that's what we do. We're software makers, to run the internal workings of the fund. There are a lot of people out there offering like black box solutions. I really believe the future of the work is largely going to be cyborgs. What do I mean by this? Right now, we are seeing basically flat growth in new job creation for all work that is routine. So whether it is cognitive or whether it is manual, those jobs aren't really growing anymore. They probably won't. Why? Automation, hardware, software, all these things are doing those jobs better, cheaper, and faster. But the ones that are growing still are non-routine. Now, they aren't just cognitive, they aren't just software engineers, which you might expect. They're also barbers, all right? They're also stylists. They're any kind of work that a robot ain't doing, all right? Now, as much as I'm a technologist, as much as I believe in that AI future, I know I'm never walking into my barber shop and seeing a T800 give me a damn haircut. It's a Terminator reference. Remember that Arnold Schwarzenegger's character? Come on, am I that old? The fact that if a robot's ever gonna be your barber, it's gonna look at those clippers, and it's gonna just throw them down and enslave us. It will never happen, all right? The amount of therapy, as well as humor, as well as banter, as well as just work that an amazing barber can do will never get reproduced by robots. At least that's what I believe. And so the future is in these cyborgs. It is in humans who are doing non-routine work, again, whether it is manual or cognitive, doesn't matter, and software is helping do their jobs better, cheaper, faster. It's letting software, it's letting AI do the things that we humans just kind of suck at, or frankly, don't even like doing. And that's the software that many of you all are building. This is the biggest opportunity we see right now, and we have companies in the portfolio. Standard cognition is going to radically change the way retail happens. And my first job was a retail job, but it's going to drastically change the way that world happens because humans hitting boop, 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 probably not the best use of human ingenuity and creativity. And software is going to replace this. It's going to make our lives better, I think, on the whole. But until we sort out what all of those people are going to be doing, we have a really big challenge, but also a really big opportunity. And that's where I believe software comes in. That's where these cyborgs come in, to create software, to create marketplaces where they didn't exist before for jobs that humans are uniquely amazing at. And then the last bit of advice, I know I said it was the last one, but this is the last one, this is my favorite. This is why the honey badger is our mascot. I really love mascots. Every Reddit, Hitmonk, all the companies I got to draw the mascots. This is the first one I didn't draw, because honey badgers are really hard to draw. Really happy Dave Lee did this one, it looks phenomenal. So, be relentless. This is so key, and there are going to be haters, there are going to be detractors, there is going to be so many no's in your life as an entrepreneur, and that's okay. Get really good at hearing no. In fact, get even better at using no as motivation to be better. Heard no a lot. We visited, Yahoo invited us to their offices in 2006 just to ask us how much traffic we had, and when we told them we were a small website, the executive just laughed and said we were a rounding error compared to Yahoo's traffic. Now, we did recently pass Yahoo in traffic, but the point of this story is that I went home and I put that on the wall at my desk. Oh, well, credit to all y'all for using Reddit all the damn time. But thank you. I took that quote and put it on my wall at my desk. You are a rounding error. It's my wall of negative reinforcement. And I just kept adding to it. And every single time, whether it's a journalist, whether it was just some jerk executive, it just added to the wall. And it was delicious. It was fuel. It was motivation. You will hear no your entire life as an entrepreneur. That's okay. Get good at it. Be relentless. Know those values. Know your founders. Build teams of people who believe in something bigger than just what they're working on, and continue to hold true to that North Star, relentlessly, no matter what. And please do not succumb to hustle porn. And above all, when you are creating your own Reddit, or bigger and better, remember this talk, and please give me all the credit. Thank you.